Jets fans, what a time to be alive. The Jets are the talk of the town right now, the belle of the ball in the NFL world, and for all the right reasons. I'm Rob, the Random Jets fan, and I'm here to talk about what happened the other night at the awards ceremony. That's right, the New York Jets won both offensive and defensive rookie of the years with Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, and we had two Hall of Fame nominees. First timer Darrelle Revis, who was in his first year of eligibility, and the one and only Joe Klecko, after years of being snubbed, has finally been voted into the 2023 Hall of Fame as a senior nominee. That's right, and because of those reasons, the Jets are finally having a good buzz around them. That on top of all the QB situation going on in the league and how the Jets are, reportedly linked to everybody not named Derek Carr. Real quick, I just want to talk about the award ceremony, what this means for the Jets going forward, and how we can build on this. So first, start off, we're going to talk about Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner, who had possibly the greatest rookie cornerback season of all time. He didn't have the gaudy interception numbers with having only two, but he had 20 pass defense, giving up only one touchdown and a 63.5 completion percentage for the QB. Now, like I said, when you look back, he didn't have the gaudy interception numbers, but like Darrelle Revis, he wasn't targeted all that much, especially for a rookie. Being targeted only 86 times, he seemed to blanket the other team's receiver, whoever it was. Most of the time, it was the best receiver for their team. He had shut down players like Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd. A lot of top receivers in the league. Sauce Gardner had the opportunity to go against, and more times than not, he won. He was put in the big situations. He went against the best of the best this season, winning more times than none. Like I said, only giving up one touchdown this year. Really remarkable year for Sauce Gardner. Well deserved. I think most people had him as a runaway favorite for Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Sorry. Um, but then when you look at the other side of the ball, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson, there was kind of a toss up. There was a lot. There was probably a three-way race that a lot of people saw between him, Kenneth Walker, and Chris Olave. Garrett Wilson ended up coming out on top with 83 receptions this year, 1,103 yards, 4 touchdowns, and having a 60-yard long touchdown for this year. I think what's really remarkable about Wilson and the reason why he ended up winning and what really pushed him ahead was the fact of he did it with three different quarterbacks. As we all know, the Jets quarterback situation this year was the worst in the league. Just had no quarterback with double-digit touchdowns. He didn't have any touchdown receptions with Zach Wilson as quarterback. So when you look at the year that he had, I think that he really showed that he's kind of quarterback proof and that he can put up really good numbers. Can you just imagine if we just had competent quarterback play, the numbers Garrett Wilson would put up? So I think that was taken into account. He actually didn't win the most first place votes. I believe that was Kenneth Walker, but he ended up winning the award. So kudos to Garrett Wilson. Now I want to move over to the Hall of Fame nominees, starting off with Darrelle Revis, possibly the best player or one of the best players in Jets history or in just the NFL in general. Best cornerback I've ever seen in my time. Last cornerback that I can remember that followed the number one receiver for the other team all over the field. Didn't matter if they were on the left side, right side, they were in slot, they were running slants, go routes, curl routes, quick outs. It didn't matter. Darrelle Revis coined the phrase Revis Island for a reason. You put him out on the island, and it just made you feel a lot more comfortable. It allowed Rex Ryan, especially, to run a lot of exotic blitzes, defenses to help create pressure because he knew he had a guy like Darrelle Revis on that back end who could cover and completely take away a whole half of the field. Much deserved. I think everyone assumed that he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. That 09 season that really set him apart. He had 6 interceptions, gave up only one touchdown, and had 31 pass defense. That is absolutely insane. For most of his career, like Sauce Gardner, he wasn't really targeted all that much, so you're not going to see the big 7, 8, 9 interception years just because he didn't have the volume that a lot of other quarterbacks had because he was so shut down. Quarterbacks didn't want to throw that way. And of course, last but not least, going into the senior finalist, Joe Klecko. Like I said before, just years of being snubbed. I believe it's because a lot of Jets biased. 78 career sacks, 20 of them coming in 81. I think a big reason why he hasn't made it in yet, well, didn't make it in before this year, was because of the whole sacks. Sacks weren't an official record until before 82. So most of his sacks, more than half his sacks, came before they were an official stat. But I mean, the guy was just consummate Pro Bowler at 3 different positions on that defensive line: defensive end, nose tackle, defensive tackle. You hear it in interviews with Howie Long, Anthony Munoz, and they just glow and rave about him, how he was just so dominant, how he really helped the game evolve, helped that position evolve. And I'm just so happy that he finally got in, fan favorite, Jets Ring of Honor, numbers retired. So good for him. Good for Klecko, man. He really deserved that. And I thought it was super cool that Joe Namath was the one to deliver that good news to him. So moving forward, what does this mean for the Jets? What does this positive recognition mean for the Jets? Well, I think it means, and it shows, that they are actually becoming a competent organization, especially with Sauce and Wilson winning offensive and defensive rookie of the years. It shows that they're heading in the right direction. They have a plan. They can pick the right players. So, you know, previously the Jets were just a laughing stock. They couldn't do anything right. They make questionable moves. They would give out bad contracts. And I think this kind of puts that to bed a little bit. Since that award night, the Jets have like I said, have been kind of the talk of the town, and for good reason. Like I said, besides the minus the whole quarterback situation and everything that's going on with that, with Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, this really paints the Jets in a good light. So I think if you're a veteran quarterback or just a veteran player in general, you're looking at the past 2 off seasons the Jets have had, and you see that their ability to bring in really good talent, whether that's through free agency, through the draft, um, you know, making good decisions. Everyone wants to play for Robert Saleh. That's the reason why half of these players came in, is because the opportunity, meeting Robert Saleh and the opportunity to play for him, and getting them pumped up for the season. So I think that bodes really well for the Jets in this quarterback search. Now that is a whole different topic for another day, with Aaron Rodgers going into his darkness retreat and them supposedly being not even close to interested, and Derek Carr and Jimmy G being their backup that they want to go to. That's a whole, like I said, that's a whole nother video for another day. But I think with all this noise going around the Jets, it's great. It's finally, we're breaking that same old Jets moniker, that the joke of the league moniker. The Jets can't do anything right, even with that collapse that we had this past season at the end of the year. Uh, I think this really bodes well for the Jets moving forward, and that positive light is really going to help us move this team forward. Whether it's getting that big name free agent, with putting the Jets in playoff contention, just anything positive really about the Jets. I think that this helps it, and I'm just excited to see what happens. No Super Bowl Sunday, so I'll cut it off here. Y'all enjoy your time. Tell me who you think is going to win. Score predictions, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notifications. I plan on posting a lot more. It's just been extremely hectic lately. This is probably going to be my first of 2 videos going out today. I meant to get this video out the day after the award ceremony. Did not realize that there were issues loading the video. I thought it was loaded this whole time. I look and it's not there, and there's an error and it's not loaded. But I figured this topic is just too good to pass up and just to forget about. Jets fans, we are relevant again. This team is painted in a good light. We are headed in the right direction. I'm excited. How are you feeling? Let me know down below. You can follow me on Twitter at random_JetsFan. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy your drinks and your food and everything else. And until next time, have a good one. Go Jets. See you later.